Hello, my friends. Let's start with the situation on the border, specifically in the Kursk region. Here, the Ukrainian forces continue to strike bridges to take full control of the Lugkivskiy district. Despite the fact that the front line has stalled and the Ukrainian forces are not actively advancing, the Russians are very unhappy that a large country with the second most powerful army in the world still hasn't managed to secure its own borders or carry out a cleanup operation to remove the Ukrainian forces from the area. Now let's move on to the Kharkiv direction. The number of shelling has decreased slightly and Russian attacks are limited to the areas around Vovchansk, the village of Tykhe and Starytsia. The activity is minimal with just one attack per day. In the Kupiansk direction, the Russians launched 9 assaults attempting to break through near Synkivka and Hlushkivka. As of now, there are no details on the clashes near Stepova Novoselivka. The front line remains unchanged over the past day. In the Svatove area, fighting is ongoing near Lozova, Andriivka, and further south near Cherneshina. Otherwise, activity has decreased and the front line remains stable. In the Kreminna direction, the Russians are attempting assaults on Nevske, Toretsk, Tykhe, with battles continue in the Serebryanka forestry. However, as before, there have been no changes on the front line. In the Siversk direction, fighting is ongoing for Bilohorivka, with Russian forces trying to break through toward Grigorivka, Verkhnyo-Kamenske, and assaulting Spirne. Despite their efforts, the Russians haven't made significant progress. The only notable advances were in the Vuhledar area, but all attacks have since ceased. In the Chasiv Yar direction, the Russians continue to assault the outskirts of the city, attempting to break through toward Maiske and Pretechene, while also continuing their attacks on Klishivka and Andriivka and also Bilohorivka. However, the Ukrainian forces are successfully repelling all attacks and the Russians haven't achieved any new successes. In the Toretsk direction, the Russians launched 6 assaults trying to break through near New York, Lugkivskiy and Toretsk. Yet, the Ukrainian forces are successfully repelling these attacks, and after a counterattack near New York, the situation has slightly improved in this area. In the Pokrovsk direction, the Russians continue to advance along a broad front, assaulting Ukrainian positions around Synkivka, Ukrainsk, Selidove, Novogrodivka and Grodivka, while also attempting to break through toward the highway. Despite the intense activity, the Ukrainian forces have managed to stabilize the front. This stabilization is achieved at a high cost, but as it stands, Russian advances are no longer happening daily as they once did. In the Kurakhove direction, fighting continues toward the settlement of Hostre, and Russian forces are attempting to expand their control near the village of Konstantinivka. However, there have been no changes along the front line over the past day. In the Vuhledar direction, battles around Vodiane continue without pause. Some sources claim that Vodiane is under the control of the Russians, but even Ukrainian armed forces Telegram channels confirm that this information is false and Vodiane remains under Ukrainian control with ongoing fighting around it. Despite continued challenge, there have been no new changes in the past day. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, Russian forces persist in attempting to break through near Robotyne and toward Malotokmachka. However, the Ukrainian forces continue to successfully repel all attacks with no changes in the situation. In the Kherson direction, Russian only shelling It's been recorded with no new assaults. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces have struck Russian positions with reports of explosions in Novakhovka and also Melitopol. And that's all from me. So please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.